Good morning, YouTube. It's Mateo here, and I've wanted to talk about looking for housing. Um, so I got my first choice for a job, which is in West LA. So it's like Santa Monica, between Santa Monica and Beverly Hills. So I want to live kind of in that area, or even Venice. So I've been looking at places, and it's like very nerve-wracking meeting people, and I don't know, I guess just me thinking in my head of who they think I am, because I don't know the whole trans part. Today I have a place I'm going to be looking at, and I emailed the guy, and I asked if he's LGBT friendly. He then responded back saying that he's fine, he doesn't care about someone's sexuality. So it's cool that he's on board with the sexuality part, because I do identify as queer, but he didn't get the T part, you know what I mean? Like, there's a gender element to LGBT. So it started to get me thinking, like, should trans people really be into that category? It's interesting. I don't really know how that it all fits in. I don't know. Because I feel like we're unicorns, and it's just, I don't know, that's hard. But he didn't consider that, when you think of LGBT, you think of sexuality, you don't think of gender. So if the place goes well, if I really like the place, I want to apply, they're going to give me an application. I need to put down my female information. I've yet to change my name. Even though now I've established I'm just going to stick with Mateo, I like the name, now I have to go through that whole process, and I need $500. I do have money, but it's just I'm going to just wait, maybe like a Christmas present for myself, do it then. But that's basically what gives me away, is my female name. Recently, with transactions at the bank and with people at stores asking for my ID, they don't question my gender. They still say sir afterwards, or whatever, just reaffirming my male appearance. So I haven't had issues with my name, but I feel I do have to disclose when, obviously I'm going to be room sharing. I'm not going to be room sharing. I'm going to rent out a room from these people. So we're going to be living in the same area. So I feel like they should at least know that I'm trans, because I'm going to be getting mail in my female name. I'm going to have to fill out the application in my female name. So it can't be an issue. If they're not comfortable, like, and I'm going to even tell them this, like, if they, it's not something that they want to do, then I'm not supposed to live there, like, I need to be somewhere where I can feel safe and welcomed. So we'll see how that goes. Just because my experience with the gay, or the gay community, has been really weird. It just seems like they're more narrow-minded than straight people, and I don't get it. It's very, very bizarre to me how straight people can get it more than gay people. Like, you'd think that gay people are more open-minded, but at the same time, I guess we're not. I used to not be, so it would just make sense. I want to talk briefly about, I went last week to a queer film festival thingy, and they were showing queer porn. So it was Jizzly was present with Courtney Trouble. They're both porn stars, and they did a Q&A with the audience afterwards, and this one, I'm assuming lesbian identified, again, I don't know what this person identified as, but she said that she didn't see any dyke on dyke porn. And then Courtney Trouble corrected her and said, no, there was dyke on dyke porn. It was so-and-so, these two porn stars. And the thing is, why the person in the audience didn't perceive it as being dyke on dyke porn was because it was two trans women. It was two trans women, and they still didn't have bottom surgery. So it's interesting how this lady in the audience probably thought, perceives dykes to be probably female identified and also with the vagina. So she has this image in her head that's strictly, boxed up, and she doesn't understand that I could say I'm gonna make dyke on dyke porn because I identify as a dyke. I could say that if I wanted to. You don't have to appear as something or anything. You just have to believe in the label, whatever. But it's just like, it just made me cringe a little bit, but I'm glad that like she was able to see that, and that day she, Courtney Trouble was able to let her know there's, other bodies and other people can identify as dykes. So hopefully she took a little bit away from that. And that's why I love San Francisco with, oh gosh, just like, they're just like so open, and I just feel like everyone in San Francisco is just really queer. And that's why I want to live there, but we'll wait on that. Anyways, so I remembered back when I was younger and I was identifying as a dyke and lesbian, and I only dated people who were female-bodied and also identified as dykes and or lesbians. And back then, in my head, it was very strict. And it's not that I specifically had a type that I was looking for in females, and also, what else was I gonna say? I had a type, but when other people would tell me that they're bisexual, I discredited their identities. I was close-minded in that aspect. I was also close-minded to even considering males as being partners because I was lesbian or whatever. Like, I wasn't open to it at all. But the whole bisexual thing, I remembered people would tell me, and I'm like, oh, they're just confused, they need to figure it out. And I think a lot of people still say that, and now I understand that people can be whoever they want to be. Just now, because I'm now trans, I've become very open with my sexuality and my gender, and it's a trip. It's just like I'm super queer now, when opposed to being this lesbian in the past, which was kind of very restricting and very boring. So I'm really glad that I've come into this new identity, and it's allowing me to explore so much more with just myself, just letting it just be fluid. So it's just like, I don't understand how I'm able to help out someone who used to be like me in my past. It took me to transition to understand this fluidity of it all. So I really don't know what it would take to get someone that's lesbian identified, strictly in that mindset, to understand, also gay guys, to understand, this whole fluidity of everything. I don't know what to do. I just hope that there's some way they could figure it out. Because it's important to know that, not everything is strictly defined and confined, to just kind of let it all go, and also let themselves go, just because it's fun that way. All right, so it looks like it's October. I'm not sure if I'm going to be going out for Halloween or not. We will see. I know I definitely have the day off, which is nice. So we'll see how that goes. So everyone, be safe on Halloween. Enjoy this month, and take care. Bye.